Birdland is proud to present Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Birdland. Wow. Great to have you here. We're the Nighthawks. We play music of the 1920s and 30s. I'm your band leader for this moment, Vince Giordano. Thank you. And thank you. At least the first number was good. But anyway, we opened up with a little Universal Pictures fanfare, and we love to do that because it features our multi-talented percussionist, Paul Wells, who's played the timpani on that. And give him a little timpani. That's enough, that's enough. It was written by Jimmy McHugh, there you go. And then we segued into a tune that was played by the Fletcher Henderson Band, a wonderful band here in New York City that had all kinds of great jazz guys like Coleman Hawkins and Louis Armstrong for a while. It's called Stampede. And we had a nice trade-off of trumpet solos there. We had first solo was John Eric Kelso on the trumpet. Yeah. And then Joe Boga played some nice trumpet toward the end of the piece. And all those little fills, they were on the piano there, that was Peter Yaron. He's a great filler. And the tenor saxophone is Peter Anderson, our other Peter. Yeah. Now, it's a little early in the evening here, even though I've gone through my Nighthawk Birdland cider. Something happened. There must have been a hole in it, like the bucket's got a hole in it. But even at this early part of the show, I just feel like two guys in this band look very similar. They look very similar. No, not you two guys. No. Try again. No, not you two guys. Let's try it. The third time is always the winner. Yeah, there they are. It's the Anderson brothers. Oh, anyway, there you go, Peter and Will. And they've been doing some great jazz shows, and this might be a good opportunity right now to let Will Anderson talk.
Oh, okay.
That's you.
Thank you, Uncle Vince. I appreciate that. Well, I did want to quickly announce that my brother Peter and I are leading our very own show here at Birdland. We'll be upstairs on Sunday, January 26th at 5:30 p.m. in the debut of our very own big band. And we've both been playing with the Nighthawks for many years. We've picked up a lot of tricks and tips of the trade. And just to give you a little preview of the show, it's going to be all the same notes, just in a different order. We'll be playing all Ellington, Basie, and Benny Goodman, so we hope you enjoy that. I also wanted to announce tonight, for sale, for a very low price, I have available for you, my friends, my newly released book called Songbook Summit, 15 Pioneers of American Sound, and it's got chapters on Irving Berlin, Benny Goodman, Artie Shaw, George Gershwin, Justin Trudeau. No. Anyway, come check it out at the card up front. Thank you.
Hey, that's Will Anderson and Peter Anderson. And they look the same. I never can tell who's who, but maybe after a little bit Nighthawk, Birdland cider, I'll be able to figure it out. Here's a tune from the 1934 period, written by the great Benny Carter, called Everybody Shuffle. And he had gone over to Europe to work with a lot of great European musicians like Django Reinhardt. And here's Everybody Shuffle. 1, 2, 1, 2. Kelso. Yeah, man. Peter Anderson. Yeah. Everybody Shuffle by Benny Carter, 1934. Okay, there's Peter Anderson on the tenor saxophone. And the trumpet solo is John Kelso, John Eric Kelso. Yeah. And again, we like to turn over the spotlight so that you can say something on the Nighthawk Home Shopping Network channel.
All right. Thanks, Vince. I have a band called the Irregulars that plays at the Ear Inn every Sunday. We've been there for 17 years now. And we have a new Live at the Ear Inn CD that just happens to be available next to the other LPs and CDs back there. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay. There's going to be a lot of salesmanship here. These guys are, I'm preparing them for the, when they get on their own. Well, they're on their own now. I mean, whatever. Anyway, we're going to go back to 1924 right now, and we talked about Fletcher Henderson and the great talent that he had in that band. Coleman Hawkins. He had Don Redman as one of the reed players, singer, and also arranging. And for a while, a year or so, he had the great Louis Armstrong. And here's a tune written by a band leader named Charlie Davis from the Midwest called Copenhagen. And it's not about the place over in Europe. It's actually, it's about chewing tobacco, snuff or something like that, you know, that I think is still around. People can still get Copenhagen. Has anybody tried it lately? Like, okay. How you fix for blades. Anyway, here's how Fletcher Henderson sounded back in 1924. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Copenhagen. I can just imagine when Fletcher Henderson played that at Roseland, and with that ending, like, whoa, you know, people that, well, that's all he wrote, you know, that's all Don Redman wrote. A little bit of John Kelso there on the Louis Armstrong solo, and Arndt Arntzen had 2 notes, or was it 3? Okay, on the banjo, that was nice. We you know, we gotta save you, man, okay. All right. Let's play something now associated with the great Bix Beiderbecke, a man from Davenport, Iowa. He got into New York in the late 1920s and only lasted 28 years. He had a pretty fast life. Played great jazz cornet and piano and helped Bill Chalice, my teacher, arrange and all that stuff. And this is a tune written by Frankie Trumbauer, his partner there in musical crime, saxophone player, and Chauncey Morehouse, great drummer, who I knew quite well. And it's called Three Blind Mice. But it's not the kids' nursery rhyme, but it's got a lot of the same notes. Okay. Okay. One, two, one, two. Three Blind Mice were there, some, and nice tune that not too many bands played in the 1920s, and now you know why. All right, that was, I'm just kidding. But we finally got more solo work for our man on guitar and banjo. That's Arndt Arnson playing that great Eddie Lang solo. Three Blind Mice here. And this thing here is called the bass saxophone. If you haven't noticed that, I've noticed it, and unfortunately. All right. Here's one of the weirder tunes in our book that nobody plays at all, even more obscure than Three Blind Mice. It's called Third Rail. And Third Rail, I guess, must have been written by some guy that rode the subway a lot and decided to do it. He was actually a saxophonist. I researched him for 20 years and found out his name was Vern DeMars. Vern DeMars. And this was played by the California Ramblers back in the 1927-28 period on the old Edison label. So here it is. It's got a nice little kind of an older, slower foxtrot, so to speak. Not fast, not slow, sort of in between, little what we call half-fast. There you go. 1, 2, 1, 2. right. Very interesting song. Third Rail. Okay, that's Sam Chess playing that old Tommy Dorsey solo. Tommy Dorsey was in that band back 1927, 28. Nice. And John Kelso, and who else? We had, I think, a little bit of Will Anderson play some alto on that, right? Okay, great. Just a little bit, all right. Hey, time to play some Duke Ellington for you right now. And Duke Ellington was at the Cotton Club so long that he wrote 2 Cotton Club stomps. So this one is called Cotton Club Stomp Number 1. Make sure you guys play number 1, because if you play number 1 and number 2 together, it's not so good. And Andy Stein did this way back in the early days of the band when we got involved with a little bit of the Cotton Club movie that you can see parts and pieces of on YouTube. And yes, that's us. We were young back then. There you go. Anyway, 1980 something. Here it is, Cotton Club Stomp. 1, 2, 1, 2. Levinson. That's Duke Ellington's Cotton Club Stomp. And kind of the solos that I'll try to remember them all. That was Andy Stein playing the baritone. Wow. Yeah, he took that off the record for us way back in the early days. And then we had a solo from Joe Boga on the trumpet. Joe Boga, there you go. He can be heard every Wednesday, that's tomorrow, with the great Louis Armstrong Eternity Band led by Dave Oswald on tuba. And then, oh yeah, I forget, the man on the alto there, that's Dan Levinson. Dan Levinson, give him a nice hand right across the mouth. Dan, I'm told you have something from the Nighthawk Shopping Network.
Well,
what say you?
We.
Oh, yeah, but you're going to do the talking.
My first album has just been released.
Wow.
Thank you. I recorded it 32 years ago, and it's finally out. It's not my album, to be honest. Vince and John and I are on it, and it was produced by the great George Avakian, legendary producer, and music direction and piano by Dick Hyman, who's about to turn 98. This was a dream project of George Avakian's, a tribute to the great Chicago jazz pioneers of the 1920s, and he assembled a truly all-star lineup, except for me. But really proud of this, very proud of this. Also, 10 years later, the three of us went back into the studio and did a tribute to Bix Beiderbecke. This was a much smaller project. No, also, thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also available on vinyl and CD right back there. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Dan Levinson. Wow. Okay, we're going to play some Louis Armstrong for you right now. And you all know Louis Armstrong, I hope. Okay, all right, well, we'll start over from the beginning. Once upon a time, there was a great New Orleans trumpet man named Louis Armstrong, and he's got a wonderful place in Queens called the Louis Armstrong House Museum. Of course, he's not around anymore, at least that's what, if you tend to believe that, but we believe he's still with us in some way or shape or form. And he was a great pioneer for jazz, and this next tune was written by his musical father, his musical teacher in many, many ways, a guy named Joe Oliver, also known as King Oliver. And here's John Kelso to lay down one of the most famous Armstrong sides in the 1920s called the West End Blues. How about those clarinets? Yeah. Whoa. That's Peter Yaron back there on the Father Hines solo. Give him a nice hand. Take it, John. How about a big hand for John Kelso there on that wonderful solo? That was great. And a little bit of Sam Chess there on the trombone. And I can't forget about the clarinet megaphones. Have you seen those before? No, they're kind of top secret Nighthawk ammunition there. And we pulled those out. They weren't on the original recording date, but we like to I like to make a show out of it, and those guys certainly got that sound. Very great. And I mentioned Peter Yaron doing the wonderful solo, Earl Father Hines, and last but least, our percussionist, who has all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. He's just full of all kinds of gadgets, and this is a little cymbal set called the Baccarat cymbals, just like what Zutty Singleton used on this original date in 1928. Give the folks a little sample of your Baccarat cymbals. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Oh, he can't help it. He loves those Baccarat. That's Paul Wells on the Baccarat. I can't forget that. Okay, and then since I let everyone talk about their product, I guess it's time for me to talk about our little recording project here. And we recorded the West End Blues along with 3 other sides, and this looks like an LP, right? LPs are coming back, they tell me, but we want to make sure that if you buy this, that your turntable has 3 speeds, because this is recorded at 78 RPM. What? Yeah, it's true. It's true. So if you try to play this on a 33 or 45, it's going to sound very logy and slow. And that's right. Yeah, play it. That's right. But there you go. So check that out. All right. Well, there you go. We got one more tune before we do our little trad jazz tune here. So let's see what we got here. Let's go up a little bit and I give you Hocus Pocus. Is that up there, 39X? Okay. We're going to go into the 1930s right now, 1934. And, most people think the swing era started sort of the later end of the 30s, 1938, 39, with Count Basie and Benny Goodman. And it really started a little bit earlier, like about 1933, 34. And here's a little tune that Will Hudson wrote and Fletcher Henson recorded with Henry Red Allen and Coleman Hawkins. It's called Hocus Pocus. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. All righty. I gave you 2 extra notes. That's Hocus Pocus by the great Will Hudson, Fletcher Henderson's wonderful band from 1934. Swing, swing, swing. All right, we're going to put away the arrangements right now and play what we call traditional jazz, some old-time jazz. Here's John Kelso to pick out a tune.
How about the Milneberg Joy?
Oh, the Milneberg Joys, all right, by Jelly Roll Morton. That's correct. That's the correct name of the tune, Milneberg, except nobody in the trad jazz world or jazz fans call it that. They call it the Marlenberg. And it's a long story, which maybe I'll tell you a little bit. The publisher, put down the wrong title. It was supposed to be Milneberg, but they wrote down Milenberg. Is anybody from around the New Orleans area that knows what I'm talking about? No. Does anybody know anything what I'm talking about? Okay. What's that?
It doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore?
Part of New Orleans now.
Oh, no kidding.
Fun fact.
Wow, I didn't know that. It's sort of like, what's that part of...
Brigadoon.
Brigadoon?
not
No, not Brigadoon. No, Brigadoon. I know Brigadoon doesn't exist, but Limehouse. Limehouse doesn't exist anymore, like it used to. Anyway, in England. That and $2 will get you on the subway. Here we go. I think it's up to $3 now. Here, Milenberg B flat. And we're going to stay in B flat?
No, 2 to 3.
2 to 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Paul Wells. Yeah, all right, the Milenberg Troys there. Sam Chester on the trombone, John Kelso on the trumpet, it's Dan Levinson on the clarinet. All guys you've met before, and then finally we got a nice solo for our banjo player, Arndt Arntzen. Yeah, Arndt, show him that beautiful banjo too while you're at it. Good. That's the best side of the banjo. It doesn't make any sound. All right, I'm just kidding. And Art, I'm told you have something to say on the Home Shopping Network. Go ahead.
Why, yes, that is true. I just became a dad.
Whoa!
Thank you. As of 30 seconds ago. Oh, thank you very much. Actually, in order to support my growing family, I am also selling albums back there. I have a vinyl record for sale called Keep Your Sunny Side Up, 33 RPM, as well as a CD for sale, and they're sold with a guarantee, which is that if you buy the album and you don't like it, you can just send it back to me, and then I'll send you an album that I don't like.
Wow, that's a great
kind of
deal.
a fair deal.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you very much.
It's the album with all the banjos on it, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure so I don't buy the wrong album. Anyway, you've been listening to our wonderful pianist, Peter Yaron, and he likes to get up and express himself on this instrument called the celeste or the celesta, and we're going to let him do a little solo. Solo, they can't hear it. No, you could do it. Play it. Oh, yeah. Oh. There you go. That's great. Well, that's Peter Yaron. We all know the first tune. The second tune is actually something composed by me. But play that little composition again. That's right. Thank you. And I'm not too creative, but when I was writing TV commercials in the 70s, I had to come up with a theme for this little young man that came home and spilled his chocolate milk and his ring-dings all on Mom's new white couch, and she was really angry as commercial man. But the voice from above said, "Don't worry, Mom, we have miracle spray," and stain's gone. So that's it. So it doesn't compete with George Gershwin or Duke Ellington, but it's the best I could do, and it made money for my cat and kittens too. There you go. This instrument here that I was having struggled with and trying is called a bass saxophone. And thank you for putting up with that 3 minutes and 10 seconds of noise. Anyway, thank you. Keep drinking. Which is a good thing here. The more you drink, the better we sound. And the more we drink, the better we think we sound. So it's like that. Sitting right next to me, playing all these wonderful percussion instruments, and he finally got a whole solo, is a fella named Paul Wells. Paul Wells on the drums. Yeah. And he does many, many things, and one of the things that he does, which takes him out of town, which is good for him, but sad for us, he goes out there with Curtis Stigers and plays all kinds of wonderful music, and is just doing a fantastic job at that. The last person I want to introduce to you is a man that's multi-talented. He's an arranger, and he plays violin and saxophones, and he's appeared and recorded with Garrison Keillor, Bob Dylan, Sir Paul McCartney, Asleep at the Wheel. He's also writing his first novel. It's called Roscoe, the Bedbug Dog, Where Are You? But here tonight, he's got the phono fiddle, and that's Andy Stein. Andy Stein. Yay! Okay, nice. People like to ask us about the band and what kind of music this is. It's old traditional jazz and pre-swing, but we're going to play some swing for you in a little bit. And we did play a little swing, but if you really want to find out more about this music, I suggest you pick up one of these free, did I say free, newspapers on our merch table. It's called the Syncopated Times, and it's got all kinds of wonderful information about bands playing this music today, and also some articles about people doing it in the past, so it's all good. Joe Boga, we haven't featured you any here, and I think it's time for you to do this number, written by Harry Warren. Harry Warren, a wonderful composer who did a lot of work for the Warner Brothers in the 1930s, like, that tune and that tune. And, no, 42nd Street, You Get to Be a Hat With Me, and he won Academy Awards. And he wrote silly tunes, too, like That's Amore, all that stuff. But, hey, the check's cleared. So here's something called Wail of the Winds. See that's the beauty of having the brothers here, because if one guy slips, the other guy gets it. They've been rehearsing that since the womb, and it's good. It's a good thing. Now, Wail of the Winds. This was Red Nichols' theme song. Here's our long distance paper. We got to take it to the West Coast. Didn't go so far. I'm sorry. Nothing goes that far anyway. Hey, are you folks having a pretty good time tonight? All right. There you go. What a night. I can't believe you remembered that. But anyway, here's Wail of the Winds, and here's Joe Boga to tell you all about it. You got your light out, Joe. Is that okay?
Yeah. But
You like it without the light?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I put a brand new light bulb in for you tonight. Anyway. Okay. Sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Joe Boga there on the Wail of the Winds. That was nice, Joe. The Red Nichols theme song for a little bit, and back in the 30s, he made it on the Bluebird label. In case anyone can run down to the record store and pick up the record store. You know, the record store. You know. Yeah, I know. Or the antique shop, whatever. You know, that's where you find all these old records. All right. Well, Joe, we're gonna utilize your talent again. You're gonna go from Red Nichols to Louis Armstrong. This is number 3 in the book, and actually, Red Nichols and Louis Armstrong did hang out a bit in the 1920s, and they also did a film called the Five Pennies, which is with Danny Kaye, and you know, it's looking at it now, it really doesn't tell the history correctly, but it's a fun film, and some great tunes by a lady named Sylvia Fine, who was Danny Kaye's wife. Anyway, we're going to play something that Louis did on 1930. He was fronting the Les Hyde Band and a bunch of guys from the old Paul Howard Band. And it's a Walter Donaldson tune that's been recorded a zillion times called You're Driving Me Crazy. And here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mama, you're driving me crazy. What did I do? Oh, what did I do? A taste for you, babe, make everything hazy. Oh, you're out in the skies, oh, so blue. Now you driving me crazy. What did I do to you? Swing. On that wonderful Louis Armstrong solo, and Will Anderson. The original recording date had a great drummer called Lionel Hampton. This is a little bit before he started getting into the vibes, but he was just a wonderful drummer, and he couldn't make it tonight, so Paul Wells is filling in. Okay, fantastic record. 1930, check it out if you can. Well, let's see what's next here on the old docket here. Maybe time for a little blues. We haven't played any blues tonight, and we're going to go back to King Oliver, the wonderful inspiration for Louis in the 1920s and the rest of his life. And Louis had left the band in Chicago, and King Oliver continued. Louis came to New York, and King formed a new band called the Dixie Syncopators, and here's what they did back in 1926 or so on their old Brunswick label. It's called Snag It. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! That's Joe Boga there playing the blues, man. Have you got the blues today, Joe?
Yes, sir.
You got the blues. All right, I can tell. That was beautiful. And and Will on the clarinet, and Sam Chess there on that trombone, man, with the saxophones and the tuba. It sounded like we're going to church. That's what they say it in New Orleans, church, like that. Is that? Yeah. Thank you. I feel saved. Okay, that's what we used to do in the old days. All right. Well, we got a couple of more numbers, and then we have to take a break. But here's a good one called "When I Take My Sugar to Tea." That was written by a fellow named Sammy Fain. Sammy Fain wrote "Let a Smile Be Your Umbrella" on a rainy, rainy day, and a lot of fun tunes from the 1920s and 30s. And then he won Academy Award for "Love Is a Very Something Splendid Thing." Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, cut me off on the Nighthawk cider. Okay, here it is. And we're going to take the little coda at the end there. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sugar to tea. I'm as ritzy as I can be, but I never take her where the gang goes when I take my sugar to tea. I take my sugar to tea, and when I take the coda, too. There you go. That's a little musical term. It's like little directions here, sort of like a GPS, you know? And sometimes the GPS works, and sometimes it doesn't. But it gave us a good excuse to hear Peter Anderson on the tenor saxophone and Sam Chess on the trombone. Nice, okay. We want to remind you folks that we are here these days, Mondays and Tuesdays. And I have this little pesky card, and I'll be a pesky guy and coming out to see you all, most of you. And these are great cards for many reasons. First of all, they have information, a nice picture of the band. And if maybe when you go home and you're having breakfast tomorrow morning and you have some cookies that crumble on your breakfast table, why, look at this. Scrapes them right off like that. Nice. Or...
Are you telling me that we're here every Monday and every Tuesday?
That's right, every Monday and every Tuesday.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thanks for bringing that up. And also, if you buy Will's book about the songwriters, sometimes you might doze off late at night reading it. You know, when you get to the 5th chapter, and you get tired, and understand, well, this is going to help you, because this is a great bookmark. Now, here we go. It's so hard to get, but there you are. It worked. Nice, very good. So buy the book and pick up a little card. I'll be around with the card to give that to you. Well, it's been a real great pleasure to play for you tonight, and I'm so proud of these wonderful musicians. These are not only great musicians, but they're all great guys. And that's, yes, it's true, it's verdad. And that's my Spanish. But anyway, Birdland is the world's greatest jazz nightclub in my book. Take a look at the wonderful flyer that's on your table. Grab it, take it home, and maybe you can come back again, or maybe you could write something up nice on the internet about coming here tonight. We'd greatly appreciate it, because we're not covered by CBS, NBC, Fox, you name it. Even Channel 13 doesn't cover us here, WNET. But it's okay, it's all right, we'll survive. This is what we call grassroots music. And I've been giving you a lot of things to think about, names and arrangers and composers. Hope you'll check them out on the internet. And like having like sort of a little jazz class here, I'm going to give you a little jazz homework. Try to influence and try to introduce live music to young people. Can you do it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, that's a good start anyway. And as I always say, every night is a special show here. We try to do it differently, save for a few numbers, give or take. And each night I get a little more involved, and the audiences are just knocking me out. And when I came through the curtain tonight, before we started, I could tell this was a special audience. Yeah. And after doing this band for over 40 years, I could feel it. I could feel it. Of all the audiences that I've played for, you and you and you are our most recent audience, and we appreciate that. Okay, seriously, thanks again. We're going to close off with a hot one called Rhythm, recorded by Jimmy Dale back in 1932. Actually, written by Jimmy Dale in 32. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2.
And there it is. Vince Giordano and the Fabulous Nighthawks. And as Vince mentioned, there he is. Vince, let's have a drink. Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks. And as Vince mentioned, the Nighthawks are here every Monday and Tuesday night at 5:30 and 8:30. So please tell a friend. And we have CDs and a wonderful book available at our gift shop cart. For those of you who'd like to stay with us at the 8:30 show, there's no additional charge, and Vince plays all new music if you'd like to stay with us. However, a minimum does apply. Coming up in the upper level, the Yellow Jackets are there, celebrating their 47th year together. You can join us there as well for just the minimum. If you're deciding to leave, I want to thank you for joining us and look forward to having you back here in the very near future.
Jazz students Pontchartrain Hotel.
Right at the top of my spine.
Yeah. So they had on the roof of this old hotel, outdoor kind of a situation, and I saw ArcLight even